Kia Malaysia today expands their lineup with this, the Niro. Now, while this may look like a B-segment crossover, like so many of them are, this has a difference because it is fully electric. But at 255,888 ringgit, the question that's worth asking now is this worth the money, or should you end up in the arms of a proper luxury player instead? Well, in this walk around, we're going to explore the E-NIRO and try to answer that question. My name is AIMAN, ABDULLAH. This is MalaysianMotoring. This is a very quick preview of the new Kia Niro. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Niro is a full electric model, which means under the bonnet lies a 201 horsepower, 255 Nm electric motor that powers the front wheels. Charging is done via this forward-facing flap, very convenient, where AC charging is up to 11 kilowatts, where you can charge from 10 to 100% in just under 7 hours, whereas DC charging is done at speeds of up to 80 kilowatts, where you can then replenish the battery from 10 to 80% in about 43 minutes. Now, the battery itself is a 64.8 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion unit, which provides up to 460 kilometers of WLTP rated range. Now, of course, there are various factors that influence the overall total range, so it depends very highly on your driving style, but to assuage concerns, BERMAZ has installed 12 DC chargers across locations across the country and also offer a 180 kilowatt DC charger at a trading center in Glenmarie. Now, most importantly, the battery on this vehicle is warranted for 8 years and 160,000 kilometers, which is more likely to be the car's entire lifetime with its first owner anyway. Now, the design of the Niro is very typical of Kia, where it tries to push boundaries as far as possible. This is apparently designed according to their Opposites United philosophy, where you have a rugged lower end and a more smooth and svelte upper end. Now, overall, as you can tell, this is certainly a very distinctive vehicle, be it the heartbeat LED daytime running lights, the digital tiger nose face, or the contrast paneling across the length of the vehicle, or that C-pillar, which we'll get to in a little bit. Now, for those of you wondering, these are 17-inch dual-tone alloy wheels, the diamond cut finish on the front, and it runs on Continental Eco Contact 6Q tires, specific for EVs. Now, as you can tell, perhaps by the size, this is a B-segment SUV, which means its natural competitors include the Hyundai Kona EV as well as perhaps the BYD Atto 3, which is quite a bit cheaper than this. Now, the rear of the Niro is just as distinctive as the rest of it, highlighted by these boomerang taillights, which also serve a practical purpose, because along these contrasting colored side blades, there is actually an aero duct here to help reduce the drag coefficient, making this an incredibly efficient EV overall. Unfortunately, while these lighting systems are very large, the indicators and reverse lights are down there, which viewers of the channel will know I don't like. Now, behind this electrically powered tailgate, you will find up to 480 liters of space with the boot, or rather with the seats up. With the seats folded down, you get just under 1,400 liters of space, making this a very practical B-segment SUV indeed. And of course, you can very easily fold those seats down just by reaching in for the handle, and underneath here, you will find a little bit more space for you to store cables and other ancillaries. Now, if this space is not enough, you will find another 20 liters of space underneath the bonnet, which is perfect for storing your charging cables and the V2L system that comes as standard with this car because it's right near the charge port on the nose, which I showed you earlier in case you forgot. Now, the interior of the Niro again has that very bold expression with this very curvaceous and very design-centric dashboard. Now, up ahead, you will find the headlining features, which are the two 10.25-inch digital screens. This, obviously, for your instrumentation, and this for your infotainment. This, being a Kia system, of course, is incredibly easy to use. The functionalities are all very simple, and it is quite snappy. And the screen ahead of me here is not all that customizable, but more importantly, it's very easy to see all the functions that you're trying to access. Down here, you will find a rotary gear knob, very similar to what we found in the Kia EV6 and, in fact, the Grand Carnival. You also find the wireless smartphone charging pad here, as well as controls for your heated and cooled front seat, as well as the heated steering wheel, because we need that sort of thing in Malaysia. And overall, this does seem very clean. What I would like to point out, however, is the touch panel that exists here, because this acts as both a shortcut navigation bar as well as the HVAC controls, which still have mercifully knobs to control them, which means all of this is very easy to use. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these two front seats are electrically powered on both sides, replete with two-stage memory for the driver. You also get auto up-down windows for the front and a sunroof as standard. These seats are not leather because this is in line with Kia's demand for more sustainable and more ecologically friendly vehicles. And so the interior of this car features things like recycled wallpaper for the headliner and various different reclaimed materials in order to make up all the panels in here. Most importantly, compared to Malaysia's currently most popular, or at least most talked about EV, this interior feels a lot better built. And that is largely thanks to the platform. That also means that packaging has been made as best as possible for this vehicle. And as you can see, with this seat set up in my driving position, I have plenty of knee room and a decent amount of headroom despite that standard sunroof. There are also USB-C ports for rear passengers, as well as a couple of aircon vents, ensuring that everyone in here remains comfortable, as well as this lovely armrest with a couple of cup holders. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can access the almost 1,400 litres of space by folding these rear seats 60/40, which means that this vehicle is just as usable for drivers, so single drivers, as well as people looking to lug around stuff. You also have ISOFIX mounts back here, which are great because you can fit a large rear-facing child seat in here thanks to these rather large opening doors. Now, the Kia Niro will be available in Malaysia in 3 colours, a blue, a green and a white. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, being a BERMAZ vehicle, all cars come as standard with a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty. However, there are no service packages at time of filming, although we expect this to be updated in due course. As I mentioned earlier, the battery is warranted for 8 years and 160,000 kilometers, which means you can buy one of these without too much concern. And with the BERMAZ after-sales network being as wide as it is, you can buy these cars across the country without much concern. Bookings and orders start today. And so if you're interested in a vehicle like this, let us know in the comment section below. Let us know why the Kia Niro has piqued your interest. And most importantly, let us know which color you're getting, because I'm quite a fan of the green. In any case, that has been a very quick preview of Kia's new Niro EV. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so it's notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.